want to see what this video looks like. It says it's the cinematic filter, so I don't know. Does this look better than it usually does? It looks like it might. Do I look cinematic? Okay, so this is actually about this group called Al-Anon. If you guys have heard of Alcoholics Anonymous, AA, this is like the other side of it, like being people-pleasing and trying to help the addict or the person. I've been on both sides of it, you guys. I've been on every side of everything. I'm just gonna say that. I feel like I've tried a little bit of everything, even if I didn't dive in all the way. But here's the book. It says Al-Anon works. There's tons of books about it, but it says for families and friends of alcoholics. So it doesn't always have to necessarily be alcohol. As I've learned, it's just the same root cause, whether for like the addiction side, and then why that happens and how that even comes up, because it's a family disease. It's rooted, it's like connected, intertwined through family lines and generations, and handed down and passed down. And it just shows up in different colors, different strokes, different folks, different ways, different strays, you know what I mean? So like this one, it talks about, you know, just patterns and cycles of toxic relationships, dynamics, ways we have grown up in different times, different seasons. So I'm just giving it like a ADHD type of intro. I'm just like talking it through. So I'm going to a meeting tonight. I just started going to an Al-Anon group meeting nearby, and I've never done that before, even though I learned about some of these points and content starting a long time ago when I was doing talk therapy for myself. Just like, you know, I had a psychologist and I was trying to get to the bottom of like what was up with me and why I like this, but she didn't recommend, I had multiple therapists, but they didn't recommend this necessarily. But there was a book that is similar to this. It's called Codependent No More, and I did read that one, and it has a lot of the same points and content in it as this. So I think that's really good, because I started learning about that people-pleasing root, and why am I trying to please and like get validation from my parents still. I'm supposed to be an adult, but I feel like a child, and I got married too young, and I didn't even know who I was. And I could just keep going and going, you know, and I'm trying to make sure that my son has a very different life and a very different experience, and he has so far, but I've also traumatized him at times, like his father and I both have, you know, not meaning to, but we came out of the family root of this and their families before them. Even if my parents and other people don't want to admit it, it runs in the family. It just shows up in different ways. So I think the most part of my life, it's been like I was a people pleaser, but I wrote this quick little excerpt to share, and I really want to do deep dives and do a whole series on this now that I'm getting more familiar with it and confident talking about it. It kind of helps put the deeper root and where is all this talk coming about. We talk about on NATV network, you know, toxic relationships and, you know, moving forward. It's like this is at the root of that, and it's all like connected and intertwined. So I wrote just a quick one today. I'm probably going to take to the meeting, but whether as an addict myself, being addicted to different things at different parts of my life, or a lifelong people pleaser, which is on the family and friend side, the Al-Anon. So there's two. I've spent most of my life in toxic situations, relationships, and environments, often, mostly, not even realizing that I was choosing them. So the highs of emotional intensity, the rush of helping or fixing someone else, the feeling of being needed or chasing after love that felt just out of reach, looking for that validation, right, from someone else, not feeling validated ourselves and loving ourselves. But it became my version of normal. So if that's all that you know is like seeking outside and external validation, then that's all you know, and that's what it was. And you know, you listen to your parents, your caregivers, whoever, and at some point you're supposed to individualize and break off from them. And I know I did that at many different times. I don't know about you guys, feel free to share. I would start to individualize, and then the next year I would get like knocked back because I kept caring and wanting their approval, or like getting criticized in a way, or like something would happen and it would be like, and then it would just keep replaying in my brain because that's what I was hearing on the outside. So it does seem kind of like a programming, like something that is conditioned from the outside in. And part of what you learn in Al-Anon is you learn how to unlearn what you were taught, and you start to find peace from the inside, and then it shows up in the outside of your life, the external parts. You start attracting different, people, places, things, different types of communications, dynamics, and you stop giving power and momentum to the old cycles and the old ways. And I've done this so many times and then fallen back into it. So I just really wanted to introduce that to you guys and let you know that I will be doing a lot more sessions and talking about this here very soon. So I will let you know and promote it on here per usual. But let me know if you guys have any experience with this and how you're doing.